Check, and one, freaking two. Oh my God. I had to, guys. I had to freak it. I wasn't going to. I was going to wait till the breakdown with my boy, Mr. Marvel, tomorrow or later on today. Breakdown Easter eggs on this episode. I got to talk about it, man. We're talking Loki episode 5. We have one more episode left next week. So this is going to be a spoiler review. I just finished watching it, and the epicness of this is by far the best episode of the series. By far. I am I'm stunned how good this episode was. Black Widow is coming out this week, and I'm just like, I don't know if Black Widow could top this episode, man. I mean, this episode was fantastic. Now, I'm going to go along through the episode, what I liked, what I disliked about it. First of all, I absolutely love the soundtrack of this episode. The music in here was on point. When you have epic scenes and they're organic and they are epic, and you get the music that goes hand in hand, that's what you get from this episode. In this episode, you get this epic final moment. This final, I believe his name was the cloud was called Goliath, and you have the epic music going on. Then you have old man Loki doing his thing, and it's kind of like that music, ba-na-na, ba-na-na, but mixed really well, dude. And it just goes on to the credits. I mean, the music in here was on point. Now, in my breakdown slash review on that I did last week, I said that Mobius is probably still alive. We see Mobius in this episode. We see that I had some clue that basically, yeah, this is where they dump all the people that they what they call it, they burn or they disintegrate, and they get dumped onto this world, which is basically kind of, it looks like New York, right? It looks like New York that got demolished, that Iron Man didn't, you know, get the nuke on time. But so all this, that's why all the Lokis are there, right? All those Lokis are survivors that we find out, and that they're all in, of course, in different multiverse, different branches, timelines. They all did different. They all did something to wind up right there, but they're survivors. So the big cloud dragon didn't eat them, and that's why Mobius is still alive. That's why Sylvie, when she has the conversation with I believe her name's Ravana. I always call her Ravana. When they have that conversation, and she just turns on herself with a device, and she burns herself, and she's with the other Lokis. This is basically the garbage. This is the garbage can, and the dragon is disintegrating everything. Even old man Loki kind of puts it in context. First of all, guys, I absolutely love Alligator Loki. Alligator Loki is amazing. It is my new thing. I love Rocket, and this is like another kind of animal that came into my life where I absolutely love. Alligator Loki is awesome, and I love the fact, I think the kid Loki understands the alligator Loki, but old man Loki for sure understands what the hell alligator Loki is thinking and saying. That's pretty awesome. Boisterous Loki, I was a little disappointed. I think the kid Loki and the old man Loki got a little bit more shine than boisterous Loki. Uh, he was Loki. I mean, it's very common for all these Lokis to betray one another, and that's exactly what he did. That's what Lokis do. You get another variant of Loki as like kind of President Loki, who's coming to like who they're all kind of at odds with they have like a little history going on. So I was a little disappointed on boisterous Loki, but I did love old man Loki. The suit does it for me, man. I mean, Captain America in the first Avengers movie, that suit was terrible, and it's comic accurate. And then you get old man Loki in here, and the suit is comic accurate, and it looks like a Halloween costume. But you know what? It freaking works. I was just watching this episode. I'm like, I like this costume. I know it's not like your Hollywood type costume, but it so much works for this actor, and it so much works for old man Loki. Old man Loki is a beast. This dude was awesome in this episode. I was like, this is why I'm doing this damn review right now so late at night because I had to talk about Old Man Loki. Now, Loki himself, the Loki that we've been following in TVA, man, this episode really showcases the journey. I love the journey that this Loki is taking. It's very much confirmed he has feelings for himself, aka Sylvie. They share a great moment in this episode when they're both together. He's got the blanket, and then he gives a little bit blanket to Sylvie. Bum chicka wow wow. They're kind of discussing what would happen after what they do. Get the mission accomplished. Like, what will you do? Well, I'll probably rule. But and then she doesn't know what she's gonna do, and he'll say like, "Well, we'll figure it out together." Holding hands, he learns the enchantment. Like there was a lot. The talk, it was the talk, right? We all want to know why that Nexus branched off, and Mobius hinted like, "Dude, you love yourself, and look at you guys. You're not supposed to love yourself." You're supposed to love yourself if it's just you, but if there's another you're not supposed to be, is that a little bit of circle jerk a little bit? Just kidding. I'm sorry. But that's the case, right? That's the case that this is a forbidden kind of love. So I do feel like romance is right there. I really feel like it's kind of obvious right there. I'm glad that they did do we all knew Loki would, if he was bisexual, he was bisexual. But I don't know. The chemistry between the two actors is pretty insane. So I was actually I was a bit I was a bit caught off guard on the series to think that the chemistry is so good with all these different actors and all these different characters. I'm so glad that we got Mobius back because I love the chemistry between Mobius and Loki. And dude, I don't get emotional. I don't get emotional. But damn, man, when Mobius tells Loki, "You're my favorite Loki," fuck, dude, that hit hard. I was like, dude, and I like Loki, but I never loved Loki, and I'm starting to really love Loki. So I do have some gripes about, like, in this episode, Loki still doesn't feel like the mischievous, cunning Loki that I would like. Episode, was it 3, still baffles me a little bit, but I guess that's the point. He's changing. He says it himself in this episode. He's trying to change. Now, does that mean he'll betray Sylvie? At this point, no. But it is Loki. It's Loki. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. But at this point, I don't think so. The timekeepers, right? The false time. Somebody had to build the timekeepers. Somebody had to do this Wizard of Oz shenanigans going on. And not one point in this episode did I think the head Ravana, or whatever her name is, I did not at one point think that she did not know what's going on here. All right, it's obvious she knows. She tried to cover everything up with what C20. So when she's talking to B15, it sounds like a bingo. When she's talking to her, and I thought she was gonna look at her and say, "You already know, though. You already know what's going on." But it's this episode is telling you that she doesn't know when she has a conversation with Sylvie, that she's like everybody else, that she's been, fooled like everybody else. I don't believe it. I absolutely don't believe it. Not because of the relationship that she has with Kang in the comics, but she's the head of everything. How does she not know what the hell's going on? It still baffles me that she takes them to the timekeepers, the false timekeepers, the animatronics, basically. That was a little odd, but I really, really feel like she knows what's up. She knows the whole story. So, not even though she talks to Miss Minutes and says, "Give me all the files," like towards her last scene about the time, how this kind of like all started. I don't believe it. I really believe that she's in the loop. How can she not be? Especially with a lot of the cover up she was doing. We still don't really know why they took Sylvie too, so that should be absolutely answered in the season finale. But I absolutely don't believe that she doesn't know anything and that she got fooled. I really don't believe that. I really don't believe that. We'll see in the season finale. Well, Mr. Marvel is here on the chat. Albert, I said I wasn't going to do it tonight, but dude, this was a banger, baby. This was a banger. This was a 10 out of 10 episode. That's right, guys. 10 out of 10 episode. If you guys are just joining me, please comment. I would love to answer any of your questions. Let's talk about this episode. I'm hyped right now. I got my Pepsi Mango, so I'm up right now. So let's and I got a little bit of battery life. So let's do it, baby. Welcome in, Gibby. Welcome in. Let me lower down the brightness on here because my battery. 10 out of 10 episode. Where do you guys rate this at a 1 out of 10? Do you guys think this was a 10 out of 10 episode? What were the gripes you had with it? And dude, come on, Alligator Loki was dope in this episode. Alligator Loki, and he takes the hand off of I call him President Loki, the little with the little pin. So he takes the hand off of him. That was pretty dope. A 3.5, a 3.5 out of 10. Ooh. Yeah, up until today, I thought WandaVision was the best show, but now this was the episode. The Loki episode has been consistent, which I absolutely love. Only that one episode I really had a gripe with. So let's go into Kid Loki. Kid Loki, of course, in the comics and all that stuff. But we're gonna talk about the TV show. I think the actor did a fantastic job. I thought he did a good job. I mean, he wasn't on screen. It wasn't crazy focused with them. I really wanted to know the story between with okay, he killed Thor. How the hell did he kill Thor? I want to know how the hell he did that. And they didn't really explain that. So there's a scene though when all of them are going to the lair, right? The lair underground. You see Thor's hammer, which is pretty dope. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then you see like something jump in. And I paused it 3 times. I'm like, no, I got to keep continuing the episode. I still couldn't figure out what the hell that movement was, if that was like somebody trapped or because there's a lot of like TVs while you're going underground. It's kind of like, if you're going underground, you see like dinosaur bones and stuff, and there's like, oh, there's a little thing there. So I didn't know what that movement was. So if you guys knew what that like little movement was when we got to Thor's hammer, it looked like maybe somebody was trapped. I couldn't really tell. I paused it 3 times. I still couldn't tell. What's going on, Moderator Studios? What do you think about Sylvie wanting Loki to be killed? What do you think about Sylvie wanting Loki to be killed? That's well, Sylvie's even when Loki got zapped in the last episode, I still felt like Sylvie's kind of holding it down, hiding her feelings. I think she opened up a lot more in this episode, especially towards the end. She's a Loki. She ain't trying to trust nobody. So her saying like, obviously I think she was absolutely ecstatic knowing that Loki was still alive, and she had nowhere kind of to go, and she's like, it was basically a suicide kind of thing that she did, zapping herself. She has feelings for him. I mean, no saying that it's what Sylvie wanting Loki to be killed. I didn't take that too seriously, honestly. It's really kind of the bravado of Sylvie. She's just trying to keep her feelings on underneath her sleeve. She's not really trying to showcase that, but you see that at the end of this episode when they two have this another intimate conversation. I don't know what's going to happen to her at the end of the series. She might be actually killed, or I just don't see. I don't see a betrayal, but they are Loki, so I don't see a betrayal at all. Alligator Loki and Kid Loki survived. Mad respect to classic Loki. So my favorite is, of course, classic Loki, but I thought Kid Loki did a good job. Like I said, I want to know what the hell he killed Thor. How did he do that? I thought his costume design was a-okay. He was that was his world, I believe. So he was the ruler of that world. You had boisterous Loki, who said he killed Thor, he killed Iron Man, he had the Infinity Stones, and then old man Loki's like, you're a freaking liar, shut the hell up. And then the talk of Thanos too. That was really, really cool when they talked about when TVA Loki was telling them, dude, our necks got snapped, this and that. And then old man Loki explaining how he got away, not even visually seeing it, and him just telling the story. I just pictured everything. while he was going on and on about like, okay, yeah, like he's the most power. He tapped into his potential, and Loki probably still has way more potential too, just like Wanda. So when he was talking about how he got away from Thanos, how he was hiding out, and then the emotions comes in, right? It's the same with TVA Loki. It's same with Loki that died in the Infinity War. Deep down inside, Loki is mischievous. He's sometimes evil, but yet he still has a caring side. He loves his mother. He does appreciate his brother, and Old Man Loki does say that. He says he actually missed his brother Thor. So that was a great moment. That was a great scene. That is what, like, I was like amazed how perfectly done, and how this actor, great casting choice. I haven't really seen any of his other work. I probably have. I can't remember his name, but kudos to bring him in, because he really put this damn episode higher up on his shoulders. It was already a good episode, but the dude turned it up to 11. He did a fantastic job. Just storytelling, it really brought my imagination to life. And you know what? The weirdness of this episode. So you could say Guardians was the first one to start it, right? With Rocket, with the walking tree. This one gets weirder with the alligator, and you do get that line where, like, don't think too hard about it. It's an alligator, Loki. Let's do it. Let it be. But yet they handle that so well in the episode. I never found it comedical. Like, come on, give me a break. Like it fit. It definitely fit into this world and wackiness. Welcome in everybody. Let me know what you guys think about the episode. I would gonna read through the chats. I think this episode was a 10 out of 10. There is if I go back to it, I probably will critique it a little bit more, where there's a little problems here and there. Mobius showing up out of nowhere, picking up Sylvie. Sylvie, of course, was going to have the ability to enchant this big freaking cloud looking monster thing. It was a little bit predictable on that point, but I really can't nitpick it too much, because I really enjoyed the damn episode. I really enjoyed a lot of the interactions and a lot of the setup, and this episode moved quick, and I thought the pacing was great. I think it was like a 45-minute episode, but I wanted to go longer. I wanted a post credit scene. There's no post credit scene. It would have been really really cool, but I can understand that they're saving it for the finale. So, Gibby, whose house was at the end? And then also when Old Man Loki was able to just have like a Asgard kind of come up, that was fucking dope. That's when I like lost my mind. I was like, what? And his demise really felt like kind of like a fan made a movie that somebody would do, but it was because of the high production, and the CGI wasn't as bad as it usually is. Like in the other episodes, this was actually pretty good, but it just worked, man. I mean, even with the kind of like cheesiness of his costume and just his hand movements, it all worked. It all worked for me. It really felt like a comic book movie, and it felt like a movie at one point. I'll get to why I don't feel the same excitement that I'm feeling with all. I felt excitement with the Loki variants and all the different Lokis, but I'm not going to feel the same excitement from this episode to maybe like a Spider-Man. I'll get to that in a moment. So, what was the castle at the end? So that's that was the main plot thing of the episode. Was Sylvie knows that whoever's controlling this is beyond kind of time. It's beyond kind of time. Like, it's crazy, right? It's beyond time. Um, like, how can the TV even get there? It hasn't been written. Like, it's kind of like reminds me of the Matrix. Just so much layers on layers on layers, and you're just like, what? Like, and that is a question to be asked. Like, how do you get beyond everything that the time loops, the time this, the time that? How do you get beyond that? How do you get to where this person is controlling everything? It's kind of like the white room, right? You're surrounded by white, and you made it to where the creation, basically. It kind of reminds me of a lot like Prometheus as well, wanting to know our maker, blah blah blah, all that stuff. So at the end, so that's the thing, right? Sylvie knows you can't kill the Goliath looking thing in the cloud, which Loki tries to do. I thought that joke was I laughed pretty hard. I was like, "You're an idiot, Loki. I love you. You're not the Loki that I thought you were, but Sylvie by far has the better plan, is to enchant it because it's kind of like I when I watched it, I thought of it as like Hades. You got the three dogs that are guarding hell, and you got James Wood. Now you got Hades there. To get to hell, you have to go through those three dogs, like Hercules does in the Disney movie, right? So I kind of had that in my mind while I was watching the episode that okay, she's gonna chant this big Goliath thing to get to the main source. And that's basically what that city is basically whoever is doing this is probably in there. That's how I figured that might be. So I'm not necessarily sure, but that's how I kind of viewed everything when I was watching it. Um Sergio, welcome in, Sergio. Dude, this is my favorite episode so far. You're damn right. It's a 10 out of 10 episode for me. I loved it. Loki so far has been the best Marvel slash Disney Plus series. I am all in this. It was a fantastic episode. It really, it really took it to another level, which I absolutely appreciate. Uh, let's see. That was very sad. What's going on? Chris, was old Loki actually a surviving Loki from the Infinity War? As in, did he fake his death at the hands of Thanos? Yes. So old Loki, that's the what I was talking about earlier. I absolutely loved how he explained how he lived, how he got away from Thanos. But the thing is, when he got away from Thanos, he isolated himself in a planet or whatever. And then for many, many years, that's how he got old and he felt lonely. He missed his brother. That was the one point I was like, damn, that hit hard. He wanted to live his life. He didn't want to be scared. And once he was about to attempt that, the TVA took him. So that was his Nexus branch. Um, so he is in a timeline where Thanos didn't kill him, but I'm super curious with this layout and his costume and a little bit is more true to the comics. I'm kind of wondering in his timeline, what did everybody look like in his timeline? What did Thanos look like, right? Okay, so moderator, do you think Disney will allow Sylvie and Loki to be a couple? So I kind of said when I saw when they were talking, and you could totally tell they had feelings for each other. You kind of pictured like, okay, at the end of the series, can these two really hook up? I mean, it's Loki getting with Loki, unless they have like a little twist where Sylvie isn't really Loki, but I think she is Lady Loki. It's so funny. She's Lady Loki. I don't think there's gonna be a twist. I think they would. Just because how bonkers the comics are, and this is not like the least bonkers issue here. I think they would, and you're gonna know if they wouldn't because I think one of them would die. So if one of them dies, there's no meaning, or if one of them just leaves. I think they would though, and I don't think a lot of people would actually have a problem with it. It's super weird, it's very weird because they're both Lokis, but Loki loves himself. We all know Loki loves himself. I wouldn't have a problem with it. It's not 100% thing with Disney going, stamp of approval with this couple. I would say I give it a 60% chance of it happening because I've seen so many things before where you think it's going to happen like that, but one of them either dies, they leave, till the next, adventure, so to speak. So I'll give it a 60%, honestly. I could see it happening though. I was picturing it while they were talking. I told you that they saved their CJ budget for the last two episodes. Yeah, I had Albert saying I did have a problem with a lot of the CGI in the last couple episodes, so they saved it for this one. Still not 100% fantastic, but good enough. The thing that was jumping on the ground was a frog. Oh, so it was a frog. Okay, so it was a frog. So when they showcase Thor's hammer, when they're the variants are going down to the layer, basically, I was wondering like, what the hell is jumping at that hammer? It was Thor's frog. Thor becomes a frog in the comics. So that's so good. That's icing on the cake, baby. So Thor was a Thor frog. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Really like the build up for the characters and their relationships in the series. Falcon and Winter Soldier, like the thought, I really care about these characters. That's bizarre, right? Like we've followed more of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, especially. I always said I think Sam is really, really good. I think he was good in the series too. Bucky, I think, got the shorthand of the stick. Honestly, it's crazy that we follow those characters, but yet this series has way more like they're doing more. Sylvie is already a staple in the series. Like I really like Sylvie as a character. I like this different version of Loki. Mobius is the man. Like the characters in this series has been absolutely done just not justice, but amazingly than like characters that have already been established, and it baffles me. I really thought that the Falcon and Winter Soldier would keep up that hype from like the Winter Soldier movie, but it's really getting blown out of the water, not only by WandaVision, in my opinion. I mean, a lot of people will probably like the Falcon and Winter Soldier a little bit more than WandaVision because, you know, those first 3 episodes too. But Loki is by far, in my opinion, right now, if I had to say, is the superior series. It's been consistent. I think there's only one bad episode of the series that's lackluster, and yet even that established relationships, characters, motivations, and then we get to this episode, and all of that is coming to a head. And I think that, and like I said, TVA Loki's journey throughout from Endgame to this has been absolutely fantastic. His journey is one of the best things I've seen in a while in the Marvel thing. So great stuff. I think it's a shame though. I really wanted like the Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I think it's just a dud to me, honestly. Family. Sorry, I wanted to throw that in. Have you seen all the Fast and the Furious memes? I call them memes. I mean memes. Oh man, it's hilarious. Loki show is better than half of the movies, to be honest. Thor Dark World for sure. We just did me and Overdue Bobcat 50 did a ranking of the MCU films. So yeah, some of these episodes, this episode is kind of better than that Thor the Dark World. And you can even say Iron Man 2 if you wanted to. I really liked Iron Man 2, but you know, it is bloated. What's going on, Noah? How's it going? Welcome in. And if you guys haven't already, please push the like button. It would really help this channel, the algorithm, all that good stuff. This is my fresh thoughts on the episode. I really just got done watching it. So everything you're getting is raw. And then I'll be doing a breakdown with Mr. Marvel, Albert over here, to, later on during the day, around 3 o'clock p.m. in Pacific time. And if you guys are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. I got so much content on this channel. You could all check it out. Anime, TV, Marvel, you name it, I got it. I think the castle was Tobey Maguire's because the doors on it looked like they were built sturdy. No, I don't. As much as I want that, no, as much as I want that, I don't think so. They're not gonna bring in the Spider-Man, I don't think, in this series. They're gonna save that momentum for the movie and especially the trailer. They're not gonna show any Spider-Man in the No Way Home trailer, but they're gonna show probably Dr. Octopus, Electro. So I don't think there's gonna be anything Spider-Man related to this series. I mean, I could be wrong. They could just be using, yes, maybe the buildings from Sam Raimi's film, but you're not going to see the actual Spider-Man. But they could be, yes, they could be using uh, maybe it was another timeline or whatever. I don't know, but they could use the Sam Raimi universe, uh, buildings and all that kind of stuff. Monty, I think I said that right. Welcome in. This was the first time I had enjoyed Loki. They waited till the end to get interesting. I mean, I'm sorry that you haven't enjoyed it as, I guess, as much as I have throughout the series. Like I said, I thought there was one episode that was lackluster. That was episode 3. But I really love the kind of the eerie, like I love the start of it too, the Loki symbol and that eerie kind of music. I really like somewhat of the mystery, but I feel like you could rewatch these episodes. That's the thing, especially if it has a fantastic season finale. I feel like you can rewatch these episodes because of the acting, of the chemistry, and the whole. This is kind of like introducing, it's like world building, right? You're in this world. I guess I felt like if somebody who watched Harry Potter the first time, and it's the first movie. It's not like the better movies later on. It's the first movie, but the acting, other than Loki's acting is amazing, but there's some things wrong with this movie, but you're kind of immersed in the world. The music's really throwing you for a loop, like you love it, you're interested. It's interest There's interesting stuff to look at. There's interesting stuff to the plot is can get confusing, yeah, you get it. you know so I feel like you're entering a world, and especially since this character Loki and his journey and the different, like, I really didn't think that they were going to make this character interesting as much as I thought they were, and they have. Mobius has no right to be an awesome character. Owen Wilson, I thought I seen everything, but no, he's delivering on this role. So if anything, yes, it's not a spectacle. It hasn't been a spectacle like a lot of people have been thinking. Like they thought that for WandaVision, they thought that for the Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's not a blockbuster movie, but I like the storytelling and I like the pacing it is on this series. It's a way better paced series than the other two, and there's just more interesting things going on. Now it's all really going to depend on the season finale. If they really kick ass on the season finale, we're going to have to see though. Let's see. So which Loki is making out of the show alive? I think Kid, Alligator Loki both survive. Sylvie too. Not sure about OG Loki. OG Loki's gone. OG Loki, RIP, kicked ass, did his thing, took some names, loved it. And glorious, like glorious. He's what did he say? Glorious something. Um, it's late at night, can't remember, but he was amazing. Amazing. Kid Loki for sure. Alligator Loki, come on. Alligator Loki, he's surviving this for sure. Now, the two that may not survive is either TVA Loki or Sylvie. It honestly depends, I think, on Tom Hiddleston. How long does he want to do this role? You know, I think he wants. I think I've heard him say a couple times that he loves Loki, and well, I'm pretty sure he has a great relationship with Kevin Feige, so he could be doing in it for the long haul. He still has some definitely. He's not like Hugh Jackman who's teasing to come back, but I don't know how he's going to come back because he's so much older and the regimen he has to put in, the workouts and all that stuff. I think both of them will live, but if I had to guess, maybe Tom Hiddleston dies, that TVA Loki version, because I think they're banking on Sylvie to be a very popular character. And you know what? There's the whole wokeness thing, female empowerment thing. I think I love. I don't like Captain Marvel, but I love Wanda because that's more organic. It feels right with Sylvie. Bringing in a Lady Loki and maybe taking over that Loki spot, I don't have really a problem with it because the actress is doing a bang up job. I really actually like Sylvie. She's still mysterious to me, but you kind of understand also her backstory being taken by the TVA. We don't understand the reasoning yet. So if they were, I mean, Tom Hiddleston is Loki, but I can understand the actor maybe wanting to do other things. But I honestly think both of them are going to live. So I think there's room for both. And I'm looking forward to it. Chris, what's going on, Chris? No way they killed the OG. Too many people love Loki, and he is a god. You know what? He could have. Yeah, that could have been a false Loki, OG Loki. He did state in the episode how he got away with Thanos, and that was like using a dummy, sort of a decoy. The series is awesome. I watched episode 4 like 5 times. This is the best episode in my opinion. Like I gotta rewatch this and like pick up because we're doing that breakdown video tomorrow, so I gotta rewatch. I did not know that was Frog Thor though. That is awesome. I was trying to figure out What the hell was bouncing right there? By the hammer. I know they were trying to go for the hammer. So if being Frog Thor is just icing on the cake, baby. Little AE, that's cool. Was it Destiny or was it just funny when Alligator Loki bit Loki's hand off because alligators are cannibals? Um, that's just Alligator Loki being a G, man. That's just Alligator Loki says, I don't give a. That's Alligator Loki being the most ferocious about Loki's, right? I thought that was pretty awesome. And Loki's reaction to getting his hand bit off was pretty funny as well. It worked. I didn't it could have been corny, but it actually really worked. It kind of reminded me of was it Chubbs from Happy Gilmore? At least we have Black Widow to tie us over to the finale. The thing is, man, Black Widow's got some competition this episode. Like now, all I'm gonna be thinking about is Loki, 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 Loki. Hopefully, Black Widow. I haven't tried to see any of the reviews or anything like that. I want my own opinion to be out there, but hopefully, it is a banger. I mean, it's kind of the trailers have gotten me more excited. The recent trailers, but honestly, like before, I was like, this should have been dropped a long, long time ago. But we're gonna see. I'm hopefully it's really good because you would think that I thought Marvel's first superhero woman film was Captain Marvel, and I thought that was a dud. You would think that Black Widow would be the first, female superhero movie, and I absolutely is pro to having. I don't care what gender you are, kid. If you're an interesting character, you're gonna kill it. A movie has to be made like Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot. Is like I love Wonder Woman. I don't know about the casting, but I'm gonna watch it, and I freaking love the first Wonder Woman. So Marvel being kind of taking a step back of the game, it's kind of odd, right? Just that they didn't put out Black Widow first, but hopefully it's great. It has a lot of competition after this episode, though. This episode is going to be talked about for a while, especially with the finale coming, and they need to nail the finale. WandaVision, I believe, in my opinion, did not nail it. And then the Falcon and Winter Soldier, absolutely, I honestly forgot about that finale. That was just terrible, mismatched crap. I think that the drinker, the critic, I don't know if he did that finale yet, but I hope he just like in the same page as I am. I think Classic Loki had his helmet kind of liked how he hid from Thanos as a piece of debris. Maybe, yeah, yeah. I mean, now that I think about it, that could very like it was kind of like not foreshadowed, but he did tell you that story of how he got away from Thanos. If he can get away from a Mad Titan, I think he can get away from a Cloud. If they knock it out of the park in episode 6, then I may rewatch, rethink, or my opinion. Yeah, if they knock it out of the season finale, I already think this series is better than the other two. Uh, but my faith in Disney and Marvel going forward, like Hawkeye, which I'm not very interested in, but it makes me a little bit more interested if they really nail it in season finale and just other projects that are coming ahead, like She-Hulk, Ironheart. I would love to. I mean, I don't think. I still think it's really crazy because this series is really good for the Marvel MCU, but the best Marvel show I've seen is Daredevil. I think Daredevil just kicks so much ass and so much grittier, but it's very interesting. And I think Daredevil is going to be in She-Hulk. I'm not quite sure. And they're going to do a Punisher series. So I'm very curious. But for now, I don't think Marvel and Disney have been hitting it out of the park. But with the series, this episode, the tone, the pacing, they've been doing a fantastic job with Loki. They're making me really love Loki. And I didn't love Loki. I really liked him, but they're making me love this character. Don't forget that Loki isn't a one season thing. There's going to be season 2, maybe. It just all depends on what happens in the season finale, the multiverse of madness, because it's all going to connect. They have so much on their plate, you know. I don't know. They're instead of doing a season 2 of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, they're doing movies, right? That makes sense. So I don't know. There's just too many characters, too many properties, and if you think about it, look how many shows we've gotten in this year. That's bonkers. So having a second season, it all has to fit in their plan, and it depends on the movies because there might be other characters they want to focus on. Was it Moon Knight, Oscar Isaac? That's still coming out. Are they going to bring back Iron Fist now that Shang-Chi is going to be coming out? There's too much. There's too many properties to really say officially like season 2 is going to happen because you could either bring these characters into these other series or you could bring them into the movies. Like it's too much. It's too much. Just like kind of like the movie slate, right? We're getting a lot of Marvel products. Not only are you getting TV shows, now you're getting movies. Or well, you've been getting movies, but they're all coming hitting at you with jabs. So we'll see. She did look kind of cute in the MC Hammer pants. She do look kind of cute in this MC Hammer pants. Are you talking about Sylvie? Are you talking about Ravana? Call me Frog Thor. Yes, Frog Thor. At 3818 Living Tribunal statue head. I don't know what that is, but I love the Frog Thor thing. Let's see. All the actors did an amazing job. They've been fantastic for sure. I'm gonna fight you if you keep shaming Captain Marvel. I'm sorry, Albert. Like, go watch my MCU ranked videos. That was by far my least favorite. Not as bad as Dark World, but it was mediocre to me. Hulk, Captain Marvel. That's right, Juan. That's right. They still need to make Hulk like a badass, though, right? That's why I didn't give Thor Ragnarok a higher ranking because I'm like, it's kind of Planet Hulk, but they're not. It's not Planet Hulk. We're gonna fight if you keep dissing my Captain and Falcon. Listen, no, okay, listen. I love Captain America. I do like Bucky. I think I like him more a Winter Soldier, and I like Sam. I think Sam is a perfect fit to hold that title. Like I said in the series, I did think the costume, the headpiece was a little weird, but Anthony Mackie is doing a fantastic job. He has charisma, charm. I just did not like that series. I thought that series was really, and the problem with that series was they didn't give enough to Bucky, honestly, and the two together and the villains on that. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Loki. I really hope they nailed the finale too. It has to give us more than the WandaVision finale. That needs some setup connection to the broader story. And leading up to the finale, I'm trying to think if there's too much going on for everything to tie up. But I think they're right on the right track. I think a lot of the plot points, the plot lines, it's very simple if you think about it. There's only a couple of questions that we want answered, truly answered. We want to know who's behind the TVA. We want to know why they took Sylvie. We want to know, what happens to TVA Loki. What is the we pretty much want to know the wars, right? The multiverse wars, all that stuff. But it's not that much compared to other things I've seen that just completely botched it. And best examples, Game of Thrones, are, of course. So I think they're on the right track. They're on the right track to resolving a lot of it. There always is loose ends to maybe branching out to the movies. So you'll probably see that before, like Sylvie's, why they took Sylvie and all that stuff. That's going to be answered for sure. She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Hawkeye. There's too much. There's a lot. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of there is a thing called superhero fatigue, guys. Just think of it like if Westerns was a huge thing and we were getting Western TV shows, Western movies, like you can only see so much that you've already seen before. So I do think they need to pump the brakes. Are they going to do a Star Wars thing where they're going to get a little bit too greedy? That's why you have, out of all the 3 series, you have one that's, you could truly say that has been fantastic. You could say the other series were good. Some episodes were good, but you can't really say like the whole series. So I think Loki has a chance to do that. We're going to have to see. I'm excited for the movies because I love movies. I think, and I'm going to talk about why I think the variant Lokis is not going to have the same impact as the Spider-Man big 3. And I'll get to that. And then we'll end it there. Sylvie, but Ravana can get to on God. Ravana knows. I'm telling you, I think she knows. She knows. I don't think she's like everybody else that's gotten fooled. I think she knows. Guys, I figured it out. What did you figure out, Kung Pao? What'd you figure out, man? I really thought this episode was going to give a Ravana backstory. That's going to be next episode. Next episode, we're gonna. I really feel like we're gonna. I really feel like we're gonna see Kang or some reference of Kang next episode. It's Mr. Sinister from the X-Men, the Diamond Head, dude. Oh, I would love that. Bringing X-Men to Loki, how nuts would that be? People will lose their mind. And Kung Pao, I'm not going to dismiss that. You know why I'm not going to dismiss that? Because Mr. Hugh Jackman and little Kevin Feige were hanging out, and Hugh Jackman dropped a bomb. Pepsi Mango in stores now. So Hugh Jackman, if nobody has heard, posted on I think his Instagram, his claws very dimly lit, hinting that maybe he'll come back to the MCU. That's hint. That's like teasing, basically. So we don't know for sure. So I'm not gonna throw that out the window that they would introduce X-Men. I think it'd make more sense if they introduced X-Men with Wanda. But who the hell knows what goes on with Kevin Feige's head here? There has to be a major big surprise, right? I haven't been super surprised in this series, like as like a big thing. Like Evan Peters, Quicksilver was huge in WandaVision. So I'm looking to see if that may be the thing. You know, maybe there is the X-Men thing or reference that's going to happen. I don't know. Fantastic Four too. You got to remember Doctor Doom. He's very in the Kang storyline in the comics, so he could be referenced too. Doctor Doom would be dope. It's the Purple Eon. Welcome in, everybody. I see you guys. You guys are hyped about this episode. Me too. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate it. I am Dan the Man Reviews. If you haven't seen any of my content, I got a lot. Me and Overdue Bobcat 50 did a MCU ranking. It's a raw video. We'll get the edited video coming, and then later on today, Mr. Marvel will be will breaking down this episode even more. So this is my honest thoughts of the episode review / spoilers. Like I've just like really hyped on this one. I'm actually wide awake. It's 1:27 a.m. where I'm at, and I'm just really just kind of still the wheels are turning on this thing. You know, a lot of great comments, guys. A lot of great. Compile, like I said, I'm not gonna say that might not happen, man. Sinister would be dope. They really ruined Apocalypse in the Fox version, though. Chris, wasn't Ravana Kang's chick? Yes, they were together. They had a relationship together. She said she didn't love him, but then she actually loved him. It's Yellow Jacket Bro, Charles Toy. What's going on, Charles? I wish, man. I really like Yellow Jacket. He wasn't a great villain, but he had a badass look. Forget Pat. You can't forget him, man. I'm not falling for X-Men introduction again after how they did Quicksilver and WandaVision. Boner. They really butchered that one, man. Do you think the big bad guy could be just another Loki? That's what a lot of people are theorizing, that it's just another variant of Loki, somebody who actually, Mr. Marvel himself, Albert, did say that he did find a theory that said that he did it. This is the one that's pulling the strings is actually a Loki that defeated the Avengers, took over Asgard, and wanted maybe more, and absolutely just taking over the TVA. So it might be a Loki who actually won. And they always like bring that up in this series. Yes, the Hugh Jackman things. All right. So we're gonna be ending this pretty soon because I only have a little bit of battery life either. Nay, Gator Loki bit his hand off. It was awesome. I loved it. Sylvie is cute in her MC Hammer pants. Sylvie's the actress is beautiful. She's a beautiful actress for sure. We still have yet to see King Loki from the trailer. Yeah, that's exactly right. We have not yet to see King Loki. You are absolutely right, Compal. I have a thumbnail of that, and I'm like, where's this scene taking place? Which episode? So I'm gonna end it with this, guys. When I was watching it, you had the different variants of Loki's, of course. You know, and the scene is really awesome because there's different versions of Loki together. This is multiverse. This is what we've been waiting for. Very exciting. Loved watching it. Loved watching them in their little group, figuring out what the next move is. But it's not going to be the same. You're not going to get the same emotion, chills, because it is a TV series. Once Spider-Man No Way Home comes out and you see Tobey Maguire, even if you didn't like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, and you see Andrew Garfield and you see Tom Holland's versions of Spider-Man, not only that, you see the different villains from different movies and trilogies. Well, Andrew Garfield didn't get one. You're going to get those chills. That's the holy shit movie experience, or even just overall how long the cinema or whatever has been going on. You don't get the same thing when you watch it on your TV, on your phone. You get enjoyment. I really enjoyed it. But I was sitting there thinking, like, this is a great moment. This is fantastic. All these Lokis, we're in it, baby. We're in the mud and still churning. But when you sit in that theater, and I'm telling you guys, you should sit in the theater when Spider-Man No Way Home comes out. But if you're not, and you're watching, or even if you're watching your big 86-inch, 75-inch, I don't give a shit. I watch my stuff on the phone sometimes. It's a different feel, man. Movies are just such a different feel. So the multiverse with the Spider-Man, it's going to be so different than what we're seeing with Loki. Because I think we love Spider-Man a little bit more. He's a bigger superhero, blah, blah, blah. But I can't wait. I can't wait to see all that. I really much enjoyed Loki and seeing the different variations of Loki. It's a really historic kind of thing going on with the superhero genre going on. You have Sony teaming up with Disney. It's crazy. So I really appreciate that I'm alive and I'm able to see all this starting to come together. I'm in the next phase, and I'm so close to seeing one of my favorite, probably number 2 superheroes of all time, be with one of the best Spider-Man portrayals in Tobey Maguire, and one of the coolest ones in Andrew Garfield. Because Andrew Garfield did love that role. He did love Spider-Man. He did his homework, and I appreciate that. It's going to be epic, and Loki is setting you up for that. Loki is setting you up for that next Captain America picking up Thor's hammer moment. That next portal moment. That next snap moment. I cannot wait. I absolutely cannot wait. So I want to thank you guys for joining me. We will be doing, me and Mr. Marvel, Albert, will be doing a breakdown of this episode. So more insight, more Easter eggs, more kind of like process of the episode that I'll get to later on today. It will be at 3:00 p.m. Pacific time, around my time, around our time. So it's Pacific time. I live in the West Coast. Before you leave, please hit the like button. I would really appreciate the algorithm, all that good stuff. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Dan the Man Reviews. Of course, all my content on this channel. I just got back from Vegas, so I got I got to see the Allegiant Stadium tour, and of course, I did the MCU ranked movies before the Black Widow review that's going to be coming out this week. So I would really, really appreciate if you guys joined the Dan Man crew and hit that subscribe button. I'm most likely I'm going to be live again, doing my review, doing my spoilers for the finale next week. I got to, right? I got to. So thank you all. It is 1:34 a.m. over here. I don't know what time it is for you guys over there. Get some memes. Think about Loki. Black Widow is almost here. And make sure you tune in for a breakdown video later on, or later. It will be uploaded to the channel once we do it. So I'm Dan Manica, Daniel's son. Good night, guys. Have a good one. 10 out of 10 episode. Money in the bank.